Morning, folks. At least, I think it's still morning. How is everybody doing out there in the great land of the interwebs? I wish I was doing a little bit better. I'm sitting down going through my phone. And I decided to check on my credit card status. See how much I owe, when the next payment's due. And I'm suddenly filled with these odd feelings of resentment, hurt, loss. Now, why would I feel that way looking at a credit card statement? I'm glad you asked. Because the reason I felt this way after looking at my credit card statement was because the person who blew up my credit card bill, blew up my credit card, is my second wife. I try not to think about her much. There's a lot of hurt and pain that goes along with thinking about her. And once again, I am depressed. For a myriad of reasons. It's not so much the feeling of loneliness. It's not so much the feeling of hurt, betrayal. I just kind of want these feelings to be gone. Like, do you ever get the feeling you just want to hit the reset button? Let's try this again. Act 39, take 3, go. I don't know. It's bullshit, honestly. It's just a whole lot of bullshit. I mean, we've come to an age where people don't want to grow up and do what they need to do as adults. They just kind of want to live in that moment of childlike, carefree, whatever. Kind of pisses me off. Because, there's a time, folks, where we all need to grow up. We all need to start acting like adults. Because that's what we are at this age. We're adults. Pretty much once you're past your 20s and into your 30s, you start acting like, well, your parents. Start acting the way that your parents were when they were that age. I mean, you don't get me wrong, you still make time for fun, still make time for you time, but, once you have kids, or once you hit 30, it's time to grow up. It's time to stop living in this this Neverland mindset and just grow up. Do the things that need to be done as adults, and that includes filing for a fucking divorce, and if you don't want to be married anymore, that includes putting your kids before yourself. That includes shedding off the old way of thinking, your old actions, and start acting and thinking like a mature adult in a situation where being childish is kind of a stupid way to go. It's just what's going on here. I've learned that people my age and even into some of their late 40s, people in their mid 30s to late 40s, there are people out there who just haven't gotten it through their heads that they're not kids anymore. And the childish acts need to go. Instead of brooding about what your significant other is or is not doing, if they're lacking somewhere in the relationship, get up and do it yourself. Don't let yourself be a doormat because that's what you did as a child. Just get up and do it yourself. Be an adult. That seems to be an issue these days, is nobody wants to adult anymore. Pretty soon we're just going to have a country overrun by a bunch of overgrown children, and really, why? Am I the only one? I don't think I am. But am I the only one here who honestly thinks that everybody just needs to grow up and just do their thing? I mean, in some aspects, even people in their 20s are acting more mature and more like adults than those that are in their 30s and 40s. And that's sad. That's really sad when a 25-year-old can be more of an adult than a 45-year-old. That's really horrible. But it's getting bad there. It is, and then you wonder why we've reached this, I don't know, this point in life itself where things are starting to look strange. At least maybe that's only to me. Because this isn't the world I grew up in. Certain things were unsaid, kept behind closed doors. We didn't talk about all this stuff. And now it's just out there. And with it, with Halloween coming up, I've noticed this one too. More and more people have embraced the just let it happen aspect. They used to fight about, we used to fight about homosexuality in the church. Now we just let it happen. We used to fight about Halloween, the satanic stuff that was going on. And now we just let it happen. It's kind of odd where I've grown up where Halloween was all about dressing up and doing fun stuff at night and getting candy. As an adult, and maybe it's just because I'm looking at it through adult eyes and not a child's eyes, but as an adult now, I've learned that Halloween to Satan is what Christmas is to Jesus. It's just out there. Like, we don't sugarcoat it anymore. And for one, I find it hilarious. I really do. When it comes to religious icons, we've come to we've taken on our own idea of what these religious icons are supposed to look like, and we have holidays around them, and why? I'm getting off on a tangent because I'm getting high. So we'll just call this Rambling Saturday Morning. Rambling Saturday Thoughts. Because, like, I'm home alone, so. Where was I going with that? I have no idea. I guess what I'm really trying to say is we need to grow up and really take a look at the world around us and ask ourselves, is this the legacy that I want to leave behind when I die? And should we just start growing up and stop being so petty and just go with it, man? Because honestly, being petty and being childish doesn't really get you anywhere in life. So, just grow up already. This has been Jay Joyner. Peace, love, God bless you all. And if you don't toke, I feel sorry for you. If you do toke, I hope you have a good ShatterDay. ShatterDay? ShatterDay. Yeah, we're going to go with that. ShatterDay. Because, like, why not? Peace, folks.